Welcome to Soccer Talk, a podcast about soccer, mostly in Iowa, presented by Kick It Forward. Kick It Forward is a positive disruptor to the Iowa soccer community.
Thanks to our sponsors, Scott Insurance Services and Michael Keener, Attorney at Law. You need legal help, you need insurance help, those are the two to contact.
That's right. Welcome to the show. All right, Blake, that was a pretty fun one. Yeah.
Agree. I thought you were going to keep going there, Ben. It's no, our listeners are going to think we had a technical glitch, but I could see you, but I was waiting for you to keep going, but I agree. It was a fun one.
Yeah. I thought it was funny to just chatting with Armin. I think I think we easily could have made that go for a lot longer.
Yeah. And I mean, we kind of ended it with, who the best Bosnian player is in Iowa. And I think in 5 to 10 years, when there's more podcasts with guys like our age, I think Armin may be the answer for all those guys.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's funny, or not funny, but I mean, I guess it's just like, I think it's really cool that Hoos was the name that he said. Cause I was expecting him to kind of pull out a name of like some older guy that, like maybe we didn't even know of, or, somebody like, the guys we were talking about, like Bessem and Fa. But instead he went with somebody younger, a player that's like a little bit different than him too, more of a, drops a little deeper, a little less physical. But also, I mean, a really great player.
Yeah. Super technical, super tricky, creative, almost a little polar opposite, right?
Yeah, for sure. Both attacking though, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Funny. I think what we'll have to do is, who do you think the people would like to hear more first as far as legends go? Would it be Western Illinois alumni Charlie Bales or Hoos?
Oh man, that's a good question.
Hoosriff Jupic, right? I mean, I'm sure I'm butchering that too. That's the worst.
Which is why he goes by Hoos.
Yeah, exactly. Well, fair enough. Super fun having Armin on, and hopefully we get back out and get some Imperio action here soon. What do you think, Blake?
I mean, I'm not an Imperio guy, but I hope for your guys' body image, you guys can get out there as well soon.
Thanks. Well, it wouldn't be possible without our sponsors, of course. A quick shout out to Scott Insurance Services, Central City Liquors, and Michael Keener, Attorney at Law. Hit us up on the social medias. Blake, you want to take us out there?
Yeah, Facebook, we're at Kick It Forward IA. Twitter, kick_forward. Instagram, kick.it.forward. And TikTok, kick.it.forward. And then let's not forget our YouTube channel. If you just search Kick It Forward.
Boom. Brody, take us out, man. Brody, come on, quick. Give us a shout. Oh, he's shy. I thought we were going to have like a magic moment there of Brody saying goodbye to everybody. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Stay safe.
It's literally hit record.
Yeah. Yep. Down there at the bottom.
Okay. It says recording.
Okay. Ready?
All right.
Hey, Armin. What's up? How are you?
I am good, man. How are you boys?
Hanging in.
Yeah, we're good.
Like the radio.
Absolutely.
You look like you've gotten a quarantine cut at some point. Somebody's
I know, man. Look at that. I'm waiting for the salon to open up. I'll be the first in line.
It's probably you.
If you know anybody that would come over and cut it, man, please do. I need it.
I can tell you definitely do need it. That's true.
It's getting bad over here. I mean,
oh yeah, man.
It's all over the place. Not good. Blake, how's yours looking?
Yeah. Oh, it's bad too. That's why I have a hat on.
The hat is huge. Oh yeah. The hat is huge.
Yeah, my sister's husband, his sister actually owns a salon, And I've asked her to cut my hair, and she's like, "No, I'm gonna lose my license." I'm like, "Hey, I'm family basically. Just come in." Nope,
Yeah.
not happening.
You just buy her dinner. That's all you need to do, or like provide her dinner.
My wife is like, "I'll cut your hair." I'm like, "No, thank you. I'll rather keep it.
Don't do it.
I'll rather keep it growing than being all messed up." She did my kids' hair. Horrible.
Oh, we're gonna tell the boys that's what she said.
Hope she doesn't hear
it. So Armin,
so
go ahead, Ben. You gonna tee me up?
No, I was gonna tee you up, but we got the weird thing about what we're doing these days is the delay of the internet. But so Armin, Blake always asks the same first question. I'm sure you've heard our podcast before, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's lying.
So.
Oh yeah.
Let's hear it then.
I listen a lot of them at work, just random stuff.
Do you really? Oh, you also have you ever listened to our podcast with me and Blake?
I have not. No, I've actually never heard of it before or anything. But I just do like random stuff at work, being bored while working.
What do you like? What do you like, Armin?
Oh, what's my podcast? I do like a lot of sports, just stuff. A lot of like some financial stuff, just random things that pop up on my Spotify.
I want Spotify.
Well, so if you'd actually,
I love it.
Yeah, nice shirt, by the way.
To us ever,
Blake.
Yeah.
Is he sponsoring you?
Well,
we did a little. Go ahead.
I say for our listeners that can't see, I'm wearing a Richie Hurd LLS Leukemia Lymphoma Society Man of the Year. We did a little event for him 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago now? He won LLS Man of the Year, big fundraiser. And so yeah, I was like, you know what? I know he's going to be brought up in this pod. So like,
he's one of your fellow Jayhawks.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So let's not get too far into this before we ask our first question, like real question though. Armin,
please get to it, Blake. I'm sorry.
Is this the first podcast you've ever been on?
Yes.
Are you? I can tell because your knowledge of technology and trying to get this all sorted out wasn't the smoothest, was it?
Yeah, exactly. You were right when you were like, ask my kids. I mean, my 7-year-old knows just about everything about iPads, computers, and stuff. I work a lot, so I don't really. The phone is my only thing that I play with that I know stuff about. But other than that, I mean, computers I know, but I don't really use them. Just to write invoices and do some accounting for my work. But other than that, when it comes to little special apps and all these things, man, I have no idea.
Are you nervous?
No.
Tonight, you're not?
No, not at all.
Oh, just wait.
Well, so I mean, we're grateful for your time to come hang out and chat with us for a little bit. So if you haven't listened to our pod, we just we have a bunch of different little segments that we do, and this one is called Iowa Soccer Legends Series. So we qualify you as a legend. So welcome. You're in good company. We could go through the list right now, but we could go through the list. Blake, what other types of people have been coming on in our Legend Series?
Yeah, I think we've had
we got Brian Duax.
Duax.
Yep.
Matt Nickel.
Yeah.
We've had Luke Freeberg. Billy Scott. And then we've got a couple other lined up. Sean Holmes was on there. We've had Blair Reed.
It's a very loose term, legend.
Yeah.
But the point really is more like, I mean, you've done a ton in the game, and I think it's super cool that you're still in the community, you still play all the time. You got kids that are in the community, and so we thought it'd be cool to chat with you and kind of hear about your journey. Because to be honest, I mean, I don't know a ton about your, at least like your quote unquote origin story. Like, I know that I hated playing against you because you were really good, but that's about all I got.
Yeah.
So maybe just like give us a little background. I mean, you didn't show up here when you were like 5 or 10, but 15, 16, 17, like I knew who Armin was. Armin, and pronounce your last name for me too while we're at it, because I just always butcher it.
Muzjdic.
Okay.
Armin Muzjdic.
Muzjdic. I just always just say Mu, and then like kind of just
all these years, man, not one person has pronounced it right. So I'm all over it, man.
That's interesting because we all go back for a long time, right?
Yeah.
But like I've never heard it pronounced that way. It's always been Muzjdic or Muzjdic, never.
It's Muzjdic, I don't know. There's millions one. I don't even know how they come up with the last names they say it, but I mean, I totally understand. It's a difficult last name, and I'm okay with that.
Well, so just tell us a little bit about. I mean, you obviously didn't start playing soccer in Des Moines, Iowa, but how did you get into the game of soccer? And then like talk a little about kind of how you came to your at least to like the first time we would have ever met you, like when that would have been like 16, 17, 18 years old, late 90s, early 2000s.
So I really never started playing competitive soccer until I really came to United States. Back home, we just played for fun. I never played club. I was only like 5, 6 years old when the war started. So we didn't really have, like a club or anything to play for at that age. I was in war for like 4 or 5 years before I came over here. So I came to the United States maybe when I was like 10, 11.
So you have like vivid memories of being in like war-torn country.
Oh yeah, man. Till this day, I've seen very bad stuff that till this day, man, in my dreams, I would wake up, sweating for the things that I've seen. It's no joke, man. I all these people talk about war and going to war, man. It's like, you trust me, you don't want to be there. You don't want to see, especially as a little kid, what I saw.
Where'd you grow up in? And it was Bosnia, right?
Yeah, Bosnia. My city was called Doboj. It's like kind of close to center of the country, kind of.
Did you have a club growing up who you followed?
My dad played for Doboj Željo, that's the club called. He played professional for about 18 years down there. So I would go and watch his game, but I was just so little that to be playing at that age.
So then
that's super cool.
Yeah, that is. Go ahead, Ben.
Go ahead. No, you're good.
I was just say I mean, that's pretty
speak
cool.
Speak up a little bit.
Yeah, sorry, Armin. So he played for 18 years. And then when you came over, how did you end up in Des Moines or Ankeny or Iowa in general?
So my aunt came here first with her husband and my 2 cousins, and they got sponsored by a church. And then when they came over here, they sponsor us to come here. So we didn't get to choose where we wanted. We kind of had to come here. Do I really want to be in Iowa? Wanted to choose Iowa? Not really, but I grew up. I had a great life here, and I'm kind of happy. I am in Iowa. Des Moines.
I'm saying you love it.
Yeah,
now.
she sponsored us. We came over here, and that's how we got here.
So when you ended up in Ankeny, I mean, my earliest recollection is kind of like high school when you played up in Ankeny, but you also kind of played for the Urbandale Freedom. So when you came to Des Moines, who did you play for in club, and how old were you when you first started here?
So when I first started playing real soccer was probably 11, 12. My dad, so there was a huge Bosnian community, basically, as in Des Moines, even back then, because everybody was coming here. my dad organized a Bosnian club, and he was the coach. So basically, it was adult league, kind of like what we have right now, and I would just train with them. So there was no, I was the youngest one, so I would be training with adults, and we train about 3 times a week, and we would play on Sundays. And year after year, I would do. I think I started playing in games when I turned like 14 years old. So in those 2 years, I basically had to play against adults the whole time, and that's what I think helped me become better as I grew and as I got older. So by the time I was like 14 or 15, I was able to play against adults with no problem.
What position were you playing at that young?
So I started with the left back.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I ended up.
Left back, man. I was always fast, as you guys know. But yeah, I was. Nobody couldn't beat me down the line. It was
so
my
like
position.
you're telling me when you were like the youngest player on the team, they put you at left back.
Yep, left back.
That's where they always hide the worst player, right? Like the worst best player, right?
Yeah. Well, it didn't work out for me that time. He came out to be one of the best. I'm just kidding.
So,
but,
Armin,
I started there, and then I got moved to right wing. And so that was basically when I started playing for high school. Like what, 14, 15 years old, I think it was, kind of like that.
Yeah. So who were some of the Bosnians? I mean, like I said, we're going back quite a ways, but who were some of the Bosnians that you played with on that club, the old guys? Any names that kind of are Des Moines soccer guy?
You guys wouldn't know anybody, really.
We would. Okay.
A lot of them some of them actually, their kids play with me in my team right now, with my kids, because we do, with my son, I do an indoor league, like Latino indoor league for the kids. So some of the guys actually play, their kids are playing with my son.
So like,
but it's not nobody.
You're not talking about like other guys that played, other Bosnian players at Grandview or other local Bosnian guys.
Oh, yeah, actually, Adnan.
I was going to say, like, we know Adnan,
Sanel.
We know Sanel, like, we know all those, like, we know all those guys. So, like, those people that you were playing with at that time?
Yep.
Like,
Adnan, he just came back from Germany. He played for, like, a Schalke academy, and, man, he was really good at that time. I was very young, but he came, and he was unbelievable. He was a stopper, kind of, but, yeah, then Sanel, I don't know if you know Sanel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Him, and I think, those are the only 2 guys at Grandview that at that time when I was young, they played with me.
Did you ever, where were you in, I mean, obviously you're young, but like, did you know like Bessem and Fa?
Yeah.
So those guys played on that team?
Yes, they came in very, I think I was like 15 when they came. And I started playing with them, and dude, those guys
are like unreal, right? Like they're like
unreal.
Some of the best players. Well, I mean, okay, and so here's like a really good question for you. I mean, like, who's the best player you've ever played with? And this is just like jumping into it, but like I would guess it's probably one of those players.
When it comes like Bessem, like he is just What?
I agree. He's incredible. I've played with him before. He's amazing.
He was. He can do just about anything. But Faro, the other guy, man, he would make fool out of people. I mean, he would dribble past the guys and stop and wait for the guy to come back and then dribble past him again and wait and then dribble past him again. I mean, he was just unbelievable. But when it comes to, like, a player that really, I mean, Tomas, I played with Tomas for so many years, especially the first year he came for the Menace. Man, the guy was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I got a chance to play with Tomas. I know Blake's played with him, and I mean,
when you guys played, he got a little older. I mean, but his first year, I was 18 years old. I remember. I just finished high school and I joined the Menace. Man. I couldn't believe it.
I trained with him a couple times at that age, Armin, like probably right around the same time you were actually like playing with them.
Yeah.
And I just remember him being like out of this world.
Yeah. He was, man.
Well, I mean, not many guys can get away with literally not defending
Yeah.
for 90 minutes. I mean, that's the reality of it. And he got away with it for how many years? Because
He's
things
gotten
he
away
could
with it
do.
forever.
He did. He
when
did.
you have Casey Mann, it makes everybody run for him, I guess.
Well,
I
so
love
before we like jump into that, so you played at Ankeny, and that was kind of when you like you just appeared, and you were like scoring goals by the buckets.
It was weird. It was actually weird. I was playing right mid. I started in Ankeny. Actually midfield. I started in the midfield position for Ankeny. I think my first 2 years, because we already had seniors and all those guys. Yeah, seniors playing and blah blah blah. So I
your
really.
coach then?
And then my junior year, my coach is like,
Armin,
hey,
hold on. Armin, do you remember who your coach was at Ankeny when you first started?
Rame. Ali
Okay.
Rame. I can't remember his.
I vaguely
He was
remember
the
that
football. He was the football
kicker
coach.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, so go ahead. So you were playing right midfield.
No, I was playing more in the center midfield at the beginning, and then kind of moved to the right, left, and then my junior year, he was like the one, like, hey, why don't you play forward? And for some reason, like in practice, we were doing like attacking drill. I've scored like every time we go forward, like I've scored a goal, and he's like, that's it. You're like a forward, and that's how I became a forward. That's it, And that was my junior year when I was just had an unbelievable year. I think I've scored like 28 goals that year, and we beat Urbandale in the sub-state 2-1, which kind of I think everybody knew after that. They're like, oh.
And what when you went over when did you start playing for Freedom, Urbandale Freedom? So like this is also we like to talk about.
Yeah, so really after that, my junior year, they were like,
Timmy,
hey, you should
Timmy
come
Peak
and
saw you, didn't he?
Yeah, Tim Pearson. He was like, hey, you need to come.
So were you playing club soccer, Armin, when you were?
No, I was.
Okay. You weren't?
No, I wasn't. I mean, I wasn't. Okay. Sorry. I was just playing a Sunday league, like with my dad's team. That's it.
That's incredible.
I wasn't playing for any club.
Ben, don't you think that's incredible?
Anything like that. It's just after we beat Urbandale, it was I went to their team, and I shake their hand and I told them like, hey, you guys are the best team, like no doubt. We just got lucky to beat you guys, and they really appreciate that. And I think most of those guys were on the Freedom, So I think they appreciate that and the coach and everything. So they actually invited me to come and play for them with the club. And that's at least, that's what they told me,
we like dropping names, and we know a lot of those guys, but I mean, talk about for our listeners, like I said, I mean, you got Scotty Pearson, Richie Hurd, Dustin Halma, Michael Caleb, the Best brothers.
You got Andrew Best, Jake Best,
Adam Williams.
Huh?
Adam Williams.
Adam Williams.
You don't remember Adam Williams?
I can't remember half of the guys, probably.
What about, you remember Chase Winky?
Chase Winky? Yeah, he was the only freshman, wasn't he, that played with us?
Chase was probably our age. Chase is quite good, though. He played for Freedom, though, for a little bit.
Chase. I can't, man. It's
but
been so long that –
so, I mean
the mostly people, Scotty, Andrew, Jake, Richie Hurd, Jess Richie.
Yeah.
Chat.
There's a guy that was with me all the time. I can't remember his name, but that's the only guys I really like.
And your coaches during that time, I mean, was that other than Timmy Pearson? Was that Ozzie White?
He wasn't the coach. He was I think it was his team or in charge. The coach was Gary
Isles.
Yep.
He
was the guy in charge. And there was another person, I can't remember his name, but he was, that was the only, those are the only thing. And I think that's something that, through all my young career that I had, I didn't really have any coaches that actually coached me to become better in a way, you know? You have to understand my high school coach was a football kicker coach, you know, kicker coach. The Urbandale coach, he was a wrestling coach, you know? So it was just lucky that the players outside of that, like Urbandale Freedom, you know, like Gary was the only actually coach at that time that can actually help you improve, you know, each day or each training practice. You know, as now you have all these coaches that actually had a lot of experience, they can help a lot of kids. But I still don't see the level that these kids are, they should be with all these coaches. And I still feel like some of the kids our age, like us, are still better than the kids that are like today.
So I love that. Why do you think that is?
It's a great question.
Too spoiled, too many things. we didn't have PlayStation, we didn't have all kind of stuff. You know, I was outside playing, biking all the time. So soccer was the thing that I look forward to. Go play.
Did you play?
And I've done a lot of stuff on my own.
Like basketball? Did you play basketball or anything else?
I did not. All I focused was just on soccer.
And I think
You know,
that's we've talked. Ben and I have talked. I think there's a lot of guys our age where soccer was the sport we did, and now they talk about, you know, specialization and nobody should specialize. You should play all these different sports and do all these different things, and it's an interesting discussion because, I mean, that's what you just said. I mean, that's how we lived it as well.
Yeah, I mean, after practice, I would be in the backyard or in the park playing with my friends and cousins. You know, I mean, basically, you know, I'm everywhere except United States. I mean, most of the kids are outside playing soccer. You know, and I think it has changed in the United States as well. Now, if you go to parks and stuff like that, you see a lot of kids playing soccer instead of football, basketball, or baseball. You know. So it's growing, you know, a lot in the last 10 years or so.
So talk about, I mean, just like you went from the Urbandale Freedom. I mean, you won a couple of state cups. You won high school state tournament. You were like, you know, leading scorer, you know, top guy. And then you ended up at Grandview and had like an awesome career. Like, talk about what that was like. So
you know,
how did that happen?
It was actually, you know, joining Urbandale was a great switch schools. Even though I don't know how it happened, but it did happen.
Oh, I love that. Look at, he's so like, he's been trained.
Oh man!
So you are. I mean, I think
till this day, I still don't know how that move was possible.
I think you were the only.
Thanks to Team P and everybody at the Urbandale, whatever. It was
a simple open enrollment. Simple open enrollment.
Yeah, from Ankeny to Urbandale, where there's like 3 schools in between.
And like, you're a Hall of Famer at 2 high schools. I think that's like in the same sport. Like, I think that's the only person in high school boys soccer history, and probably will ever be. I love it. That's great.
Well, that's why I enjoyed the switch to Urbandale. The guys were unbelievable, great soccer players. I think a whole senior squad were all varsity players. I think we had like 1 freshman kid and everything else seniors. So, and going undefeated. And you know what's crazy? The first 5 games, I didn't even score a goal.
What?
And so Coach Bohm, the guy in charge.
Was that when he put you in the net and made you feel the net and become one with it?
Yeah, I had to be in the goal for like 5 minutes, feel the net, lay in it, whatever. He's like, just stay. And seriously, ever since that day, I've been like unstoppable. My first 5 games, man, I couldn't score a goal.
So this is a legendary story because like the Des Moines Register picked this up, and at the time there
We
were
gotta
hardly.
dig that. We gotta dig that up. Like,
We should. There's hardly
Yeah.
any soccer stories, and all of a sudden you see Armin on like the front page of the sports section holding the goal or the net in Westbourne. Armin needs to be one with the net.
Yeah. Hopefully there's a picture of me in the
Armin,
net.
your parents-
and like when I was 18 years old.
do your parents keep every single one of your newspaper clippings?
No,
I don't even believe that. I guarantee you they do.
no. So my parents worked like 2-3 jobs.
Oh, okay. So you're telling me
yeah,
they
so
never
they were
print
not-
paper?
They've seen the paper. They have some, but not like every single one. And
You were like
a lot of times they
fixture in
were
the register.
when they can make it to the games, they can. But a lot of times they missed a lot because of work, and things like that. And I totally understand.
Yeah,
but,
I'm not at all making light of that, but I guarantee you that they have that article with your picture, like, draped in the net. I guarantee you they have that.
I wish. I really wish. I would be posting on
stop it.
Facebook tomorrow.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do some digging because I know that my mother used to, when she would see, like, let's just say she saw Blake's picture in the paper, she would fold it up and just send it to Rhonda and Kim, and just so they had an extra copy. So I'm sure that somebody did that to you, or that I have the piece of paper that, I bet it's somewhere in my little, it's gonna be good.
So-
I mean,
What in Ankeny, my junior year, one of the, the girls who they're what are they called?
what are they
So
called?
they take stats and stuff.
The manager, the team
No.
manager.
The managers, whatever, because
Yeah.
each team had like a couple girls managers, whatever. They in junior year they took all, like, every time there was a newspaper about Ankeny and soccer, they did like a whole magazine of it. So every player got it, which is kind of cool. I still have that.
Ooh.
In Urbandale, I think I have, like, when we won state, I have the newspaper from the state, and it's my face on the front page. So
Yeah,
it was kind of cool.
that was a tough
Yeah.
game. Tough game.
I know. Who do we play?
I don't remember. I think it was Valley.
So was it like 10-0 or
It was
something?
like it was a strong 3-1. It was like a
5-2.
whatever.
Well, that was like Urbandale was like one of.
You're right, but I'm not gonna remember that way.
And I loved how Valley had like a small, short goalkeeper, and after 2 goals I scored, I chipped just over the wall, and it just goes in.
Oh, I love it. That makes me laugh a lot. Talk about Grandview, please, because
So after my high school, I really, I didn't like school that much. I wasn't planning on going to college at all. My parents were working a lot. I just wanted to help out and probably, try to find a job and stuff like that. But Grandview, offered me, to go. Actually, I had Coach Holmes come to my house a couple times to go to Drake, but I was just not interested in school whatsoever. And I chose Grandview like last minute. Yeah. And
I think it's so cool. Like, I mean, because you had an awesome career there. I mean, it doesn't matter where you went.
All-American, and then Armin, talk a little bit about too. Like, you obviously had success, All-American there at Grandview, but then, Division I, UAB came calling. You kind of went down there and whatnot. I think it's a cool little story, and whatnot.
Yeah, Grandview. At that time, I love Grandview. Like you said, I had a great career there. I enjoyed it a lot, but I wish I went Division I instead. I broke all the school records. I've scored like 120 goals in 4 seasons. I had like 38 goals in 1 season, but I've never actually, I've noticed at that time, not a lot of professional coaches or anything comes to watch NAIA soccer, So I always wanted to go pro, and play professional soccer, but at that time, maybe Grandview was not the right place to go. I mean, I didn't know at the time either, because I didn't know much about, going in school, colleges. I didn't know what was the difference between Division I and NAIA. I thought it was all the same, because school didn't really interest me at that time. But I joined Grandview over there just because there's a lot of Bosnian guys over there already, like Adnan and Sanel, and they're really cool guys, and I've joined them. And ever since I joined them, we've been conference champs, every year. I've scored plenty of goals. Made it to the national, Grandview made it to the national tournament for the first time with me on the team, the first year I played. So it was like huge success for Grandview and myself at the same time,
Definitely.
Yeah, I've got All-American players awards and the highest goals and everything, but they never got me to get a trial at some professional team or anything like that. And I think Division I is the place that you need to be if you want to, go and play a higher level after that.
Fair enough. How did you feel about your time with the Menace? I think you also had you had a good career there for sure. Like it seemed like you did well there. And
yeah, there's a lot of up and downs to the Menace. I think all the years I played, the most enjoy was probably with Casey Mann, when he was a coach at those times. And that's because we had a lot of local people, and I think to any city who has a club, you got to have local people, that especially like a PDL level. Honestly, like I feel like there was like 8 to 10 of us. We're the one who brought the fans to the games because they knew us and we were from here, and they see us every day. And we would go like promote the games and give free tickets and all the stuff. And, sometimes we had like 5,000 people at the game, which was like awesome, and then anything after that, it's like new coaches, they bring new players, it was difficult at times as well, but I had a pretty good couple years, with Casey and the other coaches, but I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it as much as I thought I would, honestly. And it's just because it's like no matter how good you did the year before, the next year new coach comes in and like he brings all his new guys in, and then you're just kind of left out, kind of waiting in the back, trying to get picked up again,
I think that's
it's a weird little deal.
And I think that's a great point, though, right? With the new coach comes, especially at that level or the PDL, the new coach comes and he brings all his own players. And a lot of times those are, quote, ex-pros, whatever that really means.
Yeah.
But he gets, those guys, he knows, so they're getting the preferential treatment. They're getting the first choice. And, yeah, that's a interesting and a great point, I think, Armin, on that as well.
Yeah, it just, having like, those years that we won the national championship with the Menace, we had a lot of local guys playing in that team. But at the same time, we're the one who united the whole team because we stick together all the time. Anything that kind of goes bad, we're there to fix it, But now it's like, after all that, it's like there's a little group here, a little group there, a little group, and they're all talking about each other and saying stuff. And it just kind of disforms the whole mentality of the team. I think we really worked hard for each other those couple of years. And I think that's the reason we kind of won the championships as well.
So
Imperio, I was going to say, how many championships have you won the Imperio recently?
Oh, man. I think since I started playing for them, I probably lost maybe a handful, really total. I think same thing. Like, I think everywhere I went, we just kept winning championship after championship. Imperial, before I came, they would come in second or third or fourth. And then the first year I came, we just started winning the champion after champion after champion. And then, of course, I brought Tomas and everybody else, and we just kept winning more and more and more. So it was fun, man. You know, it was a lot of fun.
So for people that don't know, this is – I don't
got
even know.
one more year.
What do you call it? What do you guys call it? Is this the – I mean, we always used to call it the Hispanic League, but what do you guys call this league?
Latino
League. It's the Sunday Latino League. Okay. For everybody that doesn't know. Okay.
It's just it's pretty much Sunday League is probably the best way to describe it, because it is. It's just like a Sunday league.
There's not one Latino on
you know,
that team.
back then we used to play in the Sunday League as well, you know. But yeah, this is, I think, after college and Menace and stuff like that, you know, there's not really else you can play. So this is like something to do, play on the weekend and keep in shape a little bit.
All right, so here's my last question for you. Who was the best Bosnian soccer player in Iowa since you've been here?
Since I've been here?
What's that, Ben?
Other than Armin.
Yeah, other than you, who's the best? And you have 20 seconds to answer. You can't sit there.
I think Hus.
Okay.
You guys know Hus?
Yeah.
He's a very talented young kid. Well, he's not. I don't know how old he is right now, but he's got very good.
He's old now.
Know, he's really very good. So
that's your guy.
That's gonna stir some.
Who's ref?
Some discussions in the Bosnian community there. I love it.
Who do you think? Do you guys know anybody better?
Well, I mean, I would say Bessem all day long, or you probably.
I'm talking about now. You know, I'm just talking about just now, like the.
No. Who's is excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't.
Good. I mean, Elvir was good or is good. I don't know. Again, like some older guys. I don't know any of these younger guys either.
I guess I would like to see Hus and Elvir play one-on-one because I want to know who plays more defense. I don't think either of them do.
No Bosnian defense except for Adnan.
I think Hus has a lot better skill.
Adnan and Stanel are the only two defenders that are
they did. They destroyed.
I just think Elvir, he's young and has the energy, but I think when Hus at his prime and young, I think he would destroy him.
Yeah, that's fair. Elvir, a very good player, though, and
yeah,
of course,
no doubt.
Of course, you want him to do well.
The guy made it to the national team, so that's something pretty high.
Yeah, right on. Well, I mean, it's super fun to chat with you. Blake's giving me the little candle in the back. It's time to go. So
yeah.
Thank you again.
Well,
super fun to chat.
No, I appreciate having me. This was fun, man. Anytime you guys want to talk about something, give me a call.
Definitely
love
will.
it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Armin.
Thanks, guys. Hope to see you soon.
Absolutely.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Iowa soccer supporters. I'm Ben Brackett, here with my good friend Blake Siebers, also known as my co-host. What's up, dude?
Hey, Ben. Just hanging in there, kind of like everybody else. Every day's kind of running together right now.
Yeah, well, at time of recording here, it's quite the gloomy day. What's that mean for Mr. S? Has it been a lot of indoor activities today?
It has, and the kids are itching to get outside because it's kind of raining, but then it'll stop, and it's just a tease with the deck right out there for them to run. But we're surviving.
Copy that. Well, so we've got a new legend today. Another day, another legend. This one may be a little unknown to lots of you out there, but also maybe a common one, depending on who you are. I guess depends on our audience. But this is somebody we grew up playing with, kind of on and off. And you maybe a little more than me. And he's still a threat on the Sunday League circuit.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about being a beast and like a physical specimen. I don't know. I mean, big, strong,
uses his body well,
fast. Yeah, I mean, he could strike a ball, technically good. I thought I agree. We kind of get into it a little bit, but he's definitely had a successful career. And you want to let everybody know who we're talking about, Ben?
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna try and make me say his last name. All right.
I am. Yeah.
We got our friend Armin, and I think it was Muzjdic. Was that close?
I think you're close. That shows you his legendary status when everybody just knows him as Armin.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
When we say Armin, if you're involved in soccer, any kind of our age or everybody knows who we're talking about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So Armin was a stud originally in Ankeny. He appeared on the scene after fleeing war-torn Bosnia, and then turned out to be a standout at Urbandale High School shortly thereafter, and then went on to have a really great career at Grandview, and ultimately with the Menace as well.
It's like you said, he's still scoring goals in the adult league.
Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. I'm on
Right.
his team, and I mean, we're playing against kids in a sense, all these like 20 to 25-year-olds, and here we are at 35, and Armin's still running past guys. He bandages his knee up, and I'm always worried he's like really going to hurt himself, but he just continues to score goals, and no, he's like you said, a beast. So fun little chat with him. Let's get to it.